Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Lyons Real Estate Show. Today we're going to vary from our standard talking about the markets and talking about real estate in general and all of that, and instead talk about a blog post that I just recently published entitled How Moving to the Country Saved My Life. I think you're going to find this one very interesting. All right, guys, thank you so very much for joining us. And as I said at the outset, I want to talk today about how moving to the country saved my life. And what I did is I turned that actual topic into a blog post, and the blog post has received quite a few views by now. Obviously, it's one of those kind of headlines that captures your attention and people wonder why. Like, how did moving to the country save your life? And so if it's worthy enough for so many clicks, then I think it's good for a podcast. So I want to talk about that. And what I have to do is back up just a little bit and tell you that I have been a person who sits more often in front of the computer as of late because of a chronic back condition and the fact that working remotely, working from home, has kind of become the way that you do things now. So doing podcasts, editing videos for ads, doing so much of the legwork, all the research, writing articles, all of that stuff is literally done in a seated position in front of a computer. And as time has gone on, my total step count for the day, you wear one of the Apple Watches or something and you can see how many steps you're taking in a day. My average step count had dropped down to about 3,500 per day. And that sedentary lifestyle was really starting to catch up to me in the sense that getting up would actually hurt. So you'd want to sit more, but sitting more caused the problems that made everything hurt. And it's just a vicious cycle, and it's very hard to break. And a lot of people go down that road because it seems impossible to get out of. You sit there because you hurt, but the reason that you hurt is because all you do is sit there. That was me. And it was scary. I would do things like walk up a simple flight of stairs, and two things would happen to me when I would walk upstairs. The first thing that would happen is my back would spasm, and my back would just be killing me, and I'd almost, be in almost unbearable pain just walking upstairs. And the second thing that would happen is my heart would be pounding so fast that it literally got to the point to where I was thinking, there's something else wrong here. This isn't normal to have your heart rate go up this much. But as it turns out, that was all just deconditioning. That was just a lot of time sitting on my butt in front of the computer and working hard at the computer, but not getting up and moving enough to keep myself in a healthy state. So now this is where the moving to the country part comes in, and why I say it helped save my life, because me and my wife actually purchased a 12-acre ranch north of Dallas, and there was initially a person who worked on the ranch and did all of the physical stuff, but that person decided to move on with the previous owners and not stay with the property. So we hired someone else to come in, and a good friend of mine, he came in and he worked for a while, but eventually he was ready to move on to other things. So it kind of all fell in my lap. And I'm so grateful that it did, because as of today, I'm not putting in 3,500 steps like I used to. Now I'm putting in about 14,000 steps. And now, instead of walking upstairs and feeling like I'm about going to fall over, now I can pick up two 50-pound bags of feed and go up that same set of stairs and barely blink an eye. So what's happened is the necessity of doing the work on the ranch on a daily basis has absolutely turned my internal fitness level around. I don't look like some sort of a bodybuilder or anything like that, because my diet does not match, the requirements in order to get yourself looking very, very fit. But internally, it has changed dramatically. And, I keep saying at any point I'm going to go ahead and change my diet, but I'm going to take this one step at a time. Right now, I am so grateful for the fact that I have to go out and shovel and move many wheelbarrows of, the stuff that you have to get out of horse stalls and stuff, and lug big giant bales of hay and feed and drag water hoses all over the property and do all kinds of things like that. It has absolutely created a situation where it has improved my health internally. So I know I was in a bad direction, where I was headed with the sedentary lifestyle. And I remember, believe it or not, back in the day, I was actually a fitness instructor, and I understand this stuff well. But that doesn't change the fact that you're in so much pain that you can't hardly stand to stand. You can't hardly stand to walk. So you sit a lot, and then the sitting a lot aggravates all of that and makes it worse. All of that stuff, it doesn't matter what your knowledge is, you can understand it, but it's the application part that's difficult many times. So I was more or less forced to do these things, and it was a grind and it was tough. But I always remember talking back in the day when I first became a fitness instructor to Dr. Kenneth Cooper, who said that if we didn't take anything else away from his training and education, he wanted us to remember this one thing, and that was that a sedentary lifestyle is the most dangerous thing of all. More dangerous than smoking, more dangerous than an unhealthy diet, more dangerous than most drugs that a person could do. And that really stuck with me. But I found myself in a situation where I was actually doing the sedentary lifestyle thing and doing it to my own detriment, to my early end. Now I'm happy to say that's all turned around, and it's just one of those hidden things that kind of comes along with moving out to the country. We could hire someone now to work here and take on the physical burdens of doing this job, or maintaining this ranch and that sort of thing, but I really don't want to do that, because I know it means it's an easy way for me to slip backwards and into the sedentary lifestyle. So staying up late, getting up early, doing all the physical labor, and still doing this job that I do with real estate and being the best I can be at all of it is definitely a task. But the payoff for myself personally with my physical health and the payoff that I get from my real estate career is absolutely worth it. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. I really sincerely hope you got something from today's episode. The point of today's episode wasn't to brag about how I've turned around my own personal health, but rather to say that there can be lots of benefits from making a move and a change in your life. Sometimes that move is just what you need in order to change your life. Sometimes you don't even know that you need change, but the catalyst for that change can be a new beginning. It can be a new start. It can be finding that new home and starting that new life with new ambition, new dreams, and a new direction. Maybe moving just brings you back to where you needed to be in the beginning and gives you a start over, gives you a redo. So I'm not real sure if you need any of that right now or not. But when you take a look at the possibility of moving, consider whether or not it's going to bring additional benefit to your life that maybe you're not even thinking about on the surface. Maybe there's deeper value in moving. Maybe you can tie a fresh start into your new beginning in your new home. Anyways, guys, like I said, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. But until then, stay safe and God bless.